So to see in the dark in Arc Raiders, we're going to uninstall Nvidia, reinstall an older version of Nvidia, and then block it from being able to update itself, which will let us use filters. Okay, so first you'll go to add or remove programs and then search for Nvidia. You want to uninstall the Nvidia app, and then you want to uninstall the FrameView SDK. So now we're going to go to the official Nvidia Reddit and then search version 11.0.1.189. I'll have a link in the description, but if you don't trust it, just search here. There's a post from 1 year ago and you'll click on that one, and it has a direct link to the download. Once you have it downloaded, just double click and run it. Once you have it open, it's very important you don't close it. If you close it and reopen it, Nvidia is going to try to update itself, so we're going to fix that now. So to block Nvidia from connecting to the internet and trying to update itself, you're going to go to Windows Defender Firewall, hit Advanced Settings, and then you want to set 2 new outbound rules. So in here you'll click Outbound Rules, New Rule, and then on this make sure it says Program, hit Next, and then on this program path you want to browse and find NV Container. So if you go to your local disk, Program Files, Nvidia, NV Container, and then click on the exe and hit Open, and then you'll hit Next, and you want to block the connection, hit Next, leave all these checked, hit Next, and then just name it Container if you ever want to remove it in the future so you remember, and then hit Finish. And then you'll do one more, hit New Rule, Next, Browse. If you're already in the NV Container, go back to Nvidia Corporation, Nvidia App, CEF, and then Nvidia App, hit Open, Next, block the connection, and then just name this app and then hit Finish. So all you've done is make sure the app can't connect to the internet and update itself. So now we're gonna right click on your desktop, hit Nvidia Control Panel, hit Manage 3D Settings, Program Settings, hit Add, and then you want to find where your game is installed. The easiest way to do this is go to Steam, right click the game, Properties, Installed Files, Browse, and then whatever this pathway at the top is, just copy all of this and then hit Add, Browse, paste the path in there, hit enter, and then click pioneergame.exe or Arc Raiders, whatever it says here, and hit open. Now that we're in the game, hit whatever button you have to open your Nvidia overlay. I believe it defaults to Alt V, but I think I have it on Alt Z, and then you'll click on game filters, and then up here it might just be enabled by default, but if it isn't, just hit enable and then restart your game again. Once you're back in, open up game filters again, and now we should be able to add game filters. If you can't and it only says RTX dynamic vibrance, close the game. You're good to now close the Nvidia app, reopen the Nvidia app, and it'll try to update, fail, and then you can open the game and it should work. And now we're going to go through and add some filter settings. Okay, so for the filters we're going to add sharpen, and then I have my intensity set to 70 and the ignore film grain set to 0. And then we're going to add details. And I don't know how important it is, but you want to click on details, highlight it, and then hit the move down so that sharpen's above it. And now we'll set the sharpen to 0 because we already have sharpen. Set the clarity to 48, set the HDR toning to 100, and set the bloom to 0. And then we're gonna add color, grab color, move it down all the way to the bottom. The tint color doesn't matter because we're setting the tint intensity to 0, so this won't do anything, so it doesn't matter where you leave it. And then the temperature I have set to 0, and the vibrance I have set to 100. And then you'll add brightness and contrast, again, move it down to the bottom. And I put my exposure at 10, the contrast at -30, the highlights up to 70, the shadows down to -40, and the gamma up to 20. Now if you want, you can hit the settings cog at the top, hit the shortcut controls, scroll down to where it says game filters, toggle profile 1 on and off, and set it to whatever you want. I don't change it back and forth anymore, but if you want to swap back and forth between default and the better resolution, just put this on an easy to reach key. Now the game does look a little bit deep fried, but the advantage you get in dark areas is insane. Once you're done setting this up, you can close the Nvidia app and you don't need to launch it again. You can turn off your computer, do whatever, it'll stay activated. I believe if you launch your Nvidia app again, it'll try to update and fail, but it might reset your filters, so you'll have to reset them. So just play like you normally would, turn off your computer, whatever, it doesn't matter.